I said to Julie, if we want to get ahead, we got to do 2 days work every day, and we got to do it 7 days a week. My first job was just a lawnmower, pushing a lawnmower, wheel, whippersnipping, 10 or $15.
Yep.
Building, I'd do someone's lawn, and because I was a Bob a Job kid, the Boy Scout. Can I do anything else for you, sir or ma'am? Yep. Could you fix that fence? Yep. Can you fix that? Yep. Can you cut that tree down? Yep. God, now I'm going to do that. Go and get the chainsaw, buy a chainsaw. So I had a mower, then I had a chainsaw, and I had 2 chainsaws, and I started with out of the back of my car. Next thing I had a ute, then I had a little 3-ton truck, and had a few blokes working for me, just driving around the truck, fixing cutting trees down and cutting firewood. And I said to Julie, if we want to get ahead, we got to do 2 days work every day, and we got to do it 7 days a week. And she was working at the Brisbane City Council in the rates department. So on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, she'd get up at 3 or 4 in the morning with me, and she'd come to work. Because just before we got married, I picked up a cleaning contract for the Brisbane Forest Park up the back here. Cleaned all their toilets, cleaned all their rubbish bins, their firewood, picked up all the cigarette butts. And they had the government had 3 blokes doing this all day long, 3 days a week, cleaning these parks. And they decided to put it out to tender. So I got wind that it was Mount Nebo, and I was living up there at the time in my caravan. By now I had a generator and a shed over the top to catch the water. Mate. Oh yeah, it was flash. And so I put in a bid, and my bid was tough because I reckoned I could do this in 4 hours. And these guys, I remember them quizzing me and saying, how do you think I can do it in 4 hours? So, because I'm going to run. Because I'm pretty fit. I've been racing motocross. I run everywhere. So they actually followed me. They gave me the contract on a trial, and they watched me and they followed me. And then after about a week, they said, okay. And I signed up a 3-year contract because I would run with the rubbish bin on me back. I'd run into the toilets and I'd wash all the toilets. And I'd run out and I'd grab the bin. I'd run around, empty all the bins, and I'd run out with the fire and put it all out, and I'd clean the fires, and noon I'd pick up run around and pick up all the cigarette butts and hit the next place. I had a young kid, about 16 or 17 or 18, working for me, and he would drive the car to keep up with me, and I'd just run. Then we'd get back in the car and we'd go into the next park. And it started with like 3 or 4 parks. By the end, I had 10 parks I was cleaning. And I'd start, and I just started earlier and earlier. It was the same as the old paper round thinking. I'll start earlier and I'd get finished. And I'd start at like 3 or 4, and I'd come home, I'd be home 8 or 9, have a hot shower, get all the filth off me because I'd be filthy and stink. And I'd park that truck because she was pretty smelly because she was carting rubbish and stuff like that. And I'd get another truck, and then I'd go and cut firewood, or I'd go and cut trees down, I'd build a fence or mow their lawn. And that was my 2 days' work. And on the weekends, Julie come with me. And she would drive the truck if she had to, or when I was cutting firewood, because in them days we didn't have the money for a block splitter. I'd cut the blocks, and I got $45 a tonne for blocks. But if I split them, I got 60. Right. With a hand wood splitter, I could split a tonne of blocks in 20 minutes. So I got another $15 for 20 minutes. So I was always trying to sell it as blocks. A split. And I'd be splitting it, and she'd be picking up and throwing it on the truck.
Wow.
On the weekends. And we'd start early, we'd do the parks, and we'd come home and have a shower and a bit of break, and then we might have 3 or 4 tonne of wood ordered for Sunday delivery. No mobile phones in those days. I had a buddy that would take the calls, make the bookings, then he'd ring me and say, mate, you've got 4 tonnes to do on Sunday or Saturday or whatever it was. And Julie would come with me, and she'd throw the wood in the truck. And we'd put 3 tonne in the truck, a little 3-tonne tipper. Dog would get on the top, chainsaw would go back down the mountain, we'd come and deliver it. And sometimes we could do that twice on a weekend day too. And I'd hand split them, and man, was I fit and strong, because I was swinging an axe.
So what time were you starting? Were you getting up at like 3 in the morning to get two loads done in a day?
I'm trying to remember exactly, but on Fridays we did the parks. Sunday and Monday we did the parks. So on Saturday we just did the firewood. Sunday we would do the parks, and we'd get home, depending on how busy it was, 8 or 9 o'clock, have a shower, and then we'd probably get 1 truckload done, 3 tonne. But Saturday we might get 2 loads done. 6 tonne. Good money. And then Monday to Friday, she was back at the council working, and I'd do Monday morning the parks, and I had a young fella driving, as I said, on Monday to Friday, and then I'd go and do something else. Tree lopping, fence building. I built a lot of farming fences. I built a lot of post and rail ones. My dad come with me and taught me how to do it. Used a chainsaw, and we'd cut those old timber posts and rails and build them up. Did a lot of that up in Mount Nebo. And then barbed wire, and I bought some strainers. And the old man came and worked with me a bit and taught me how to do some of that. He came up for a while and just gave me a bit of a hand with that and taught me a bit of fencing that I hadn't learnt.
You're not picking easy jobs, mate. Splitting timber and putting fences up aren't easy jobs. For anyone that hasn't done it, I don't recommend making a career choice out of it because it's bloody hard work.
And to make it worse, I learned early about a niche. So I knew that when you did it down in Sanford in the flat paddock, you got nothing per acre because the blokes would drive around with a tractor and drill a hole. But up on Mount Nebo, the country was too steep, so you couldn't have a tractor. So the only one way to do it was with a crowbar and a shovel. And you would line up the paddock from top to bottom. You'd line up the fence line using a couple of, like a stick with a couple of nails, and you'd line up, and you made it down, and you'd line it up, and you'd go down, and you would physically dig the holes by hand. Then you would try and unload the posts on the top of the hill so you could drag them down, but occasionally you couldn't, so you had to drag them up, then put them in the hole, then ram them, then drill them, then pull the wire through them if you were doing wire fencing. So I could charge more because no one else wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So I would build fences, no one wanted to do it.
That was tough.
So Pete was getting all the jobs that no one else wanted to do, but he could charge more. So I understood that, hey, the other guys don't want to do this, I'll do that. I'll let them do the tractor stuff. I eventually bought a tractor, but I hardly ever used it because I didn't want to do a fence for peanuts. I wanted to be reasonably paid because I knew how to work, but I wasn't frightened of using the crowbar and the shovel.